I invited all my subscribers to compete to make the best command creation, but they would only have 48 hours to do it. It's a 48-hour competition that I hosted where you would have the chance to build something based on a mystery theme that is only revealed at the start of the event. You guys made some insane creations, but first let me take you back to July 11th. This was the first day of the event, and at 4 p.m. sharp, I announced the theme, One Button Wonders. It's a bit of a weird theme, I know, but the whole idea is that it restricts you a little bit, which forces you to be more creative and think outside of the box. And it definitely worked, because these guys found some incredibly creative ways to use this prompt, like this boss fight where the button turns into the boss's eye. I never would have thought of that. Now I want to show you guys some of the coolest creations that we saw, and if you're curious, this is how it was all judged. You can feel free to pause it and read it all. Getting into the submissions, this first one I want to show you is one of my favorites from the Java category. It was an animated car factory. Now I don't play too much Java Edition, but this was very impressive in my eyes. You were able to select the color of the car, and then it would go through, and there would be animations as they built to put the wheels on, the frame on, the top, and you would even get this cool animation as they painted the car your color. Now building the car was definitely the main attraction of this, but they did take the time to add in the simple driving function for your car. A nice little detail. But taking a step over to the bedrock side of everything, we had a really creative tank idea that you could control and aim. Now the movement was a little bit funky and left something to be desired, but what I really liked about this one is that they made the model out of mob heads, and they even made the projectile that you would shoot a creeper head since they explode. I thought that was really creative, it had me impressed. Now an honorable mention on the Java side was this map called Button Games. It was a really creative and well-designed map, and it had this sort of horror feel about some parts of it. Like watch this clip, when you walk up and there's no button, but then after you walk around there's a button there. It's a simple idea, I know, but the execution was really good in this map. The only problem is that they ran out of time and they weren't able to finish it, and the parts they did finish were a little bit buggy. I would have really liked to see what this would look like finished, but I guess we'll never know. Another honorable mention from the Bedrock side of things was this creation called a lag-friendly replay system. Now sadly, it was on console and we weren't able to get a world download to see how lag friendly it was, but the idea is that it would record you doing something and then show it back to you as an armor stand. And I like their attention to detail here. One thing that really stood out to me is that even when the player shifts here and then when they do the replay, the armor stand does a little shift animation, which I think is very cool. Now let's get on to the winners of the event, but first I want to give a huge thank you to Fantasy the Commander. He helped me judging these submissions on our live stream, and I asked him because he's a very talented commands YouTuber as well, so go check him out if you haven't already. Before first and second place, there's my personal award, which went to this one button parkour map. I loved this one. It was by far the best use of the prompt we've seen, and a very creative mechanic. In this map, you would place blocks to do the parkour course, but then you could place the button on specific blocks to reset it and get your blocks back to move on to the next level. It's a pretty simple mechanic, but I thought it had incredible integration and a really creative twist on a parkour map. This map was so close to taking first place, but it just barely fell short, so I gave it my personal seal of approval. But now let's check out the first place creation on Bedrock Edition, and that went to Runnerman by CrunchyCookie. This was a minigame that he created where you would use just one button to fight off zombies if they come at you. We could tell he put a lot of detail into this one with a lobby, a high score, and this custom display that shows you how many lives you have before you die. This one was held back a little bit by the visuals, like right here when it does the animations you can see it phasing out a little bit and you can see the edges of the map. Very minor things, but overall really impressive, and I've seen him in the comments section, so go down there and say congratulations to CrunchyCookie. And now the overall winner of the Java category and the whole commands gem with the highest score goes to a commander named WLDD, or Wild maybe? I'm not super sure, but his creation was called Jungle Boss, and it's a custom boss fight, and what really set him apart from the others was how he used the prompt, and I'm just gonna let this one speak for itself. He took the one button and he animated it to turn into a whole boss fight. It's an incredible use of the theme. This is exactly what I was hoping people would come up with. The only critiques we had for it was the boss waves got a little simple with just a lot of mobs, but he made up for it with the details to the boss, like these animations and custom health bars. The commands for this one were just insane. I mean, look at this. But overall, this event was loads of fun to put on, and if you want to see more things like this in the future, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button because it helps me out a ton, and to make sure that you won't miss them in the future. So thank you everyone who participated, and a huge thank you to my channel members. I'll see you guys in the next one.